Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back at it in Anne Orlando here for episode 1, and like we briefly mentioned in episode 0, today we're going to briefly go over the build, talk about the inspiration for the build, and I'm going to get into a kind of talking about my plan for this character and for this new video series. So first of all, I want to talk about the inspiration. I don't want to go on and on and on. Excuse me if I get a little yappy, but you know, you did click on a JDM Tuna video, so you should know what you're in for by now. So the inspiration for this actually came from a guy that I've been watching a little bit on YouTube, and I'm going to put him up here. His name is, I don't know what his name is, but his channel is TrebleSix. And the reason that this character exists is because of a really cool idea that he had, which was, what if you just invaded people as a starting class? I think that there is a beauty in that simplicity there. And something that I hadn't seen before either. So I thought to myself, you know, I have so many goddamn themed builds like Mildred, and I've got a Lautrec with a Lautrec alternate, and Giant Dad, and just so much shit that's kind of locked in. Wouldn't it be nice to make a build that doesn't really take a whole lot of startup, that I've got a range of weapons that I can use that is just a little less OP and a little more basic? So that's where we're getting back to basics from. You know, I just thought that was such a great idea, and I didn't want to rip off his idea entirely or at all, but it definitely inspired this character. And not only that, but like, he does most of his stuff from what I've seen in Anne Orlando here, and we kind of went back and forth about his, not too much into his character, but like, I just asked him, like, what's your soul level, what's your weapon level, and I believe he said soul level 46 with plus 10 weapon. So I thought, and I find this guy's on PlayStation. I haven't even touched my PlayStation in a long time. We're gonna get into that in a minute too. But I just thought, yeah, you know what a great idea to just make a character that's not really got any bells or whistles. You're gonna have to win your fights based on, okay, and let's be real, I'm an R1 spamming clown, but based on skill and not based on cheap shit like Dark Bead, Gold Tracer. I mean, I do have a couple of pyromancies that I don't really use, and like a couple of shitty pyromancies that I don't really use too much, but something like, yeah, just going back to the core of PvP without all the bells and whistles and ricketa-racketa, and I thought, what a cool concept. So definitely a huge component to this character was what I picked up from TrebleSix. I would love it if you would go over there and give him a follow and check out his videos. He's got some interesting commentaries. Lots of invasion stuff. Cool ideas, cool commentaries. I like it. I'm a fan now, so maybe you will be too. And the other way that this guy inspired me is this guy uploads it's like he never stops uploading. It's like he actually wants to fucking make it in this shit. So I'm pretty impressed with that too, and I thought, what if I kind of spearheaded my own campaign of maybe committing myself to putting out a video every day for 30 days. And I was thinking, like, with this character, and we're gonna get into a little bit more of that a little later, but kind of where that idea came from. But I'm doing a lot of invasions here. The PlayStation, the world of PlayStation is actually fairly active, which we talked about a little bit. The guys are playing. I mean, I got to get out there and beat them up. So, and obviously TrebleSix recognized that as well. So, just thought, what if I could pledge myself to something like, just put something out every day for 30 days. I've really been in an upload slump. I don't know, just shit gets in the way and blah, blah, blah. I don't need to get into all that bullshit, but like, even if it's just something short, like a 1-minute invasion clip or something like that, they're not all going to be like 18 minutes like this one. But just something, just to kind of get myself back into the scene. So yeah, that was certainly a big inspiration for that. He was certainly a big inspiration for that too. The guy just never stops uploading. It's like he's on crack. It's pretty commendable. So yeah, definitely go over there and give him a follow. Check out his videos. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was, and this is all tied in, I hadn't played PlayStation in a long time. I actually had an extra PS4 that was just in the closet doing nothing. I fixed it up for a friend of mine, and then he didn't want it anymore. And I thought, well, I got this exercise bike, and I am kind of going somewhere with this. I got this exercise bike that I've been trying to use maybe like 2, 3, 4 times a week. I hate exercising. I like riding my bike, but I don't really do it outside, especially in March when it's still, you know, fucking snowing outside up here in the gray white north. But yeah, like I like the idea of exercise. I just can't stand it. So if I could do something while I'm exercising to make it a little less shitty, a little less detestable, that would be great. So I got my Xbox One in there, I got my Switch in there sometimes, and I just put that PS4 in there, and I just sit on the bike, and I don't even pedal, I just invade people. No, that's ridiculous. I am pedaling. I am definitely pedaling when I'm doing it. So I can quite easily get the clips. I can totally do it, and this is just something that I feel like I really need to do. Just get something out there, and you know, we're not dead yet. We can do something. Maybe we can breathe a little life into this channel. I don't know. And talking about bikes, so my first shout out was TrebleSix. My second shout out is another friend of the channel, and I'm gonna butcher this guy's channel name here. It is ChompocoreTV, and this guy actually does some pretty interesting runs. He's got a couple challenge runs on the go, and he does the whole thing. He does it all on an exercise bike, which I thought was pretty fucking cool. So, you know, I definitely want to shout this guy out too. He's a really nice guy. Bounced a couple of ideas off of each other for runs and stuff. Awesome guy to talk to, and definitely check him out. I'm gonna have a link to his channel as well. You know, he doesn't just do Dark Souls stuff. He's got a couple of really interesting, like challenge run, like Soul Level 1 Elden Ring boss clips, which really impressed the hell out of me, because like, fuck, Elden Ring, I can't even wipe my ass in that game. So yeah, definitely give those guys a follow. I think they're worth your time. And now, with my shout outs out of the way, I want to talk about the build a little bit, and I'll put the stats up on the board for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So, going by what I was talking to TrebleSix about, he was saying he was soul level 46, I believe, with plus 10. So, for whatever reason, I just kind of capped it at soul level 40. I still haven't really decided if I'm gonna put a few extra points in, maybe to vitality or endurance or what. I was thinking when I made this character, like, oh, Oh, I really want to go to the DLC and get that dark bead. What if I just put a few points into intelligence? Oh, I could get that dark bead, right? But I think that would be kind of taking away from the whole point of this, right? Like, we're going back to basics here. We're trying to get away from the cheap tactics. We're trying to kind of tighten up our PvP skills a little bit. Anybody can go in and just bomb someone in the back of the head with dark bead, right? So I decided against that. Yeah, I do have a couple of pyromancies that I'm not really going to be doing anything with. Not doing too much. Maybe somebody starts shooting shit at me, I might shoot a little back, but really plan on just doing melee. I might even get into it a little bit with a bow. I really haven't decided yet. It's pretty open. I got a whole range of weapons right now, and I'm just gonna kind of take a few different approaches and see what happens, but it's all pretty much gonna be melee. These guys are paying me to leave here. We kind of went over that in a previous video. But yeah, the stats here. So vitality 20. Wow, that's really not a fuck of a lot. For this soul level, I don't think that's too bad, but it is pretty low, even with the mother mask. So I really got to watch it, and I really want to try to kind of keep myself out of trouble, especially considering I'm pretty much wearing toilet paper. So with my 28 endurance, which is also really, I think, I don't know, for mid-level you're stuck with what you're stuck with, right? But 28 endurance, that sucks. That just sucks. 20 vitality, that's terrible. 28 endurance, that's terrible. I have to wear toilet paper if I want to have one ring slot open for, let's say, wolf ring. Let's say darkwood grain ring. Maybe I'm feeling kind of horny and I want to put on that hornet ring. How dare I speak like that to my audience? Excuse me, folks.
How dare you?
28 endurance, absolutely nothing. Now I could put, oh, and I have the FAP ring on, of course. I need those extra little boosts to health, stamina, endurance, everything you could ever want. For all of you only Afro fans. Got the FAP ring. Now, I only have one weapon on, right? If I want, I could put Havel's ring on, and then I can continue to wear toilet paper, and I could put on a second weapon. I'm kind of shying away from that. It's like, I'm gonna go in what I go in with, and if it sucked, if it was the wrong option for whoever I'm fighting against, all right, well, I'm gonna have to do some menu switching, which I'm not terrible at, but I'm terrible at it. So, but these are little things that I want to tighten up, right? Same thing with the whole poise situation. So I'm wearing the black sorcerer's shirt, the mother mask, of course, you know, and Silver Knight gauntlets for 9 poise, which I'll normally complement that with the wolf ring, just so I can maybe take one hit from something, and then if I want to parry after, I can choose to do that. And I can't remember what the name of his pants are, but I believe it's the starting class for the bandit. These baggy pants. I think that's what I went with here. And I just got all my stuff to +9, except I fully leveled up the Silver Knight gauntlets at +5. I had to buy some twinkling to do that. I've only beaten everything I had to beat just to get to Anor Londo to beat Ornstein and Smo, and then did the 4 Kings to be able to place the Lord Vessel. So I really haven't done much of the game, but I like that because this is the type of build you can just put together in like an afternoon. Figure out what weapons you want. Everything is available to you. Not everything, but a lot of good quality weapons are available to you early in the game. And speaking of quality, we have only 16 strength and 16 dex. So you might have noticed I've got some elemental weapons happening. Like right now I'm using this Chaos Halberd. Now in wanting to stick with +10 or equivalent, of course it's Chaos +0, and I'm not going to be upgrading anything past that. I'm not going to go anything. I've got a couple Chaos weapons. I also did a Chaos Gargoyle Tail Axe. I'm anxious to try that out. I've got most of my weapons are lightning. I've got lightning claymore, lightning flamberger. I think a Balder swag sword that actually dropped for me on my second Balder night in the parish, which I was really impressed with. And I really haven't used a lot of these in PvP. Like I'm saying before, I'm just so locked into Mildred, Lautrec, Giant Dad. I would do so well. Hold on, let me finish that. I would do myself a lot of favors by having a range, because not only do you get better with weapons, the more you use them, you're better able to counter them. You're better able to work on their spacing when someone else is using them against you. Like, it's just an all-around win-win-win, right? So, but because I only have 16 strength and 16 dex, yeah, that's why I've got some elemental shit. That's not to say that I'm only going to be using elemental stuff. I'm not. I've got a plus 10 Shodel. I've just recently made a plus 10 Gargoyles Halberd. I love that thing, but of course with 16 and 16 I am pretty limited to what I can use. I'm probably going to upgrade the Zweihander. Might just leave that at plus 10. That's a great quality weapon. I mean, 16 strength and dex, I mean, you got no points, so you're not going to be putting out a lot of damage, but that would be a good thing to make the fights go a little longer, to really be able to, you know, hone my skills. And let's face it, a lot of the... Look at that parry. Wasn't that just gorgeous? A lot of these guys I'm going up against are not PvPers. They're not great at PvP, and that's no dig on any of these guys. But some of them going through the game for the first time, don't really know what the fuck they're doing, just cutting their teeth, whatever. But that doesn't mean I can learn how to better counter them and go up against maybe some weapons I haven't gone up against before or in a long time, right? So that's the whole thing, and I want to... I am serious about doing this 30-day thing. I want to get some stuff out there. I'm on the bike. I can make it happen. Even if just like 1 or 2 invasions or something, I can make it happen. So anyway, guys, that's the build. That's the inspiration. Make sure you check out those 2 guys in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll see your fine ass later. And no funny stuff, or I'll do the job.